Welcome back, everybody. On today's episode of Heroes of the Storm, we're going to be playing everyone's favorite tank to fucking argue about. It's Anubarak. And I hope I can tell you how to play this character effectively. My name is Winback, and today's team comps are going to be Ragnaros, Anduin, Raynor, Nova, Anubarak versus Nazebo, Lucio, Malthael, Greymane, and ETC. This is a Storm League game. This is kind of low diamond, high platinum. So this was all drafted. There is all specific plans for this, and I'm going to try to tell you what I was thinking as far as draft goes. The Nova isn't really something I had a choice in. He just picked it because I think one of his other characters got banned, and so whatever, I'm picking this. So here we are. The good news is we do have the Ragnaros, which is going to help a lot with the macro side of things. It's going to keep us in the game for a lot longer, which is good because the longer that Anubarak scales, the more CC that he's going to get, the more happy he's going to be as a tank. Raynor ultimately is just good in 9 out of 10 situations anyway, and he took ace in the hole though. I still think Exterminator's better, especially on this map. And then the Anduin, again, one of those healers that it can correct a lot of mistakes. The reason that I ended up picking Anubarak is mainly because he is, while he's not the healthiest tank in the game, he does have a lot of gank potential and rotation potential between the top two lanes, which is where you should be playing with your 4-man on this map. Top and mid need to be rotated between. You need to be going for picks. You need to be applying pressure to the people as they're rotating, trying to catch soak, trying to get gems. The enemy team doesn't seem super interested in any of that right now, so I'm just kind of free pushing my shit into their wall, picking up all their gems. But specifically when it comes to... Is he gonna live? Lucio's gonna live. Anduin's gonna live too, though. Wow. I can't hit my skill shots. I will not lie to you, this is probably the first game that I played on Anubarak in a hot minute. I am rusty on the character, and that will definitely be evident. It is because the miss on Lucio, though, that I am going to take the talent Underking and build this character for mainly our Burrow Charge, which is our E. But anyway, the whole reason for drafting the character... Number one, all they have is ETC in the form of frontline. Greymane and Malthael can probably do it, but they're not going to go in until very late. Oh, this isn't good, is it? He's just going to get right out of there. I'm going to lose my... Nothing I can do. Enemy team rotated. Friendly team did not. Friendly team just decided that they were going to do whatever the fuck they were doing in the middle lane. And that's really cool. Yeah, we're 6. That's cool. That's fine. Whatever. We didn't need all those gems. We didn't need the camp. We didn't need to live. It's fine. It's totally okay. But therein kind of lies part of the problem with Anubarak. Early game, he feels a lot like ETC Diablo, because he doesn't have a whole lot of high health. And if you make a mistake by going in, you don't really have a way to get out, and you don't have a whole lot of defensive tools in the beginning of the game to really stop them from killing the shit out of you. So, that being said, damn it. We have Underking, but Epicenter is way later on to increase the area of the Burrow Charge explosion. Please let me live, thank you. Which would have gotten Malthael there, because the radius gets way bigger. But anyway, back to the draft. So, the Malthael, the Greymane, are the only two people on the enemy team who can frontline with ETC, but they're not going to want to go in unless there is very, very strong reason for them to go in. So, as long as we interrupt the ETC, if he takes Mosh Pit, with either our E or our Q, since we're unstoppable on our E, we are just going to cocoon Lucio. Everyone on the enemy team is going to die because Greymane doesn't heal himself, and Malthael does not live very well through focus. And then we just worry about the Nazebo at the very end, because Nazebo's not a problem until level 20. And it's just that simple. But the whole purpose for picking, or the secondary purpose for picking Anubarak in draft that you should be thinking about is Cocoon. Do you make your team fight better for your team by subtracting one of their teammates? And I know what you're thinking, like, of course, duh. But if you are picking Anubarak into someone like Li Ming or Ana or even Blaze, there's a lot of characters that can kill that Cocoon really fast, and if they're on top of that job, suddenly your ult is useless. So you gotta just make sure that you're not being immediately countered by what you're picking. Otherwise, Anubarak, I mean, like I said, our team comp it's kind of built on its own 2 feet. Anubarak doesn't synergize super well. I just went in and they're gonna let me live. Anubarak doesn't synergize particularly, great with anybody on our team, but he's definitely not doing anything bad for them. He's going to create the engages. Nova's going to be able to hit her skill shots, damn it, on stun targets much easier. Rainer's going to get a lot more value from Ace in the Hole, which is like, why did you pick that? But still, with all of our CC, and we should definitely be able to keep Anduin up a lot longer with our Cocoon, just kind of giving him more ability to live through things. And then Rag is just a macro hero who's extremely good at keeping the game going very late, which is where 2 out of 5 of our characters really, really come together. So there you have it. That's what you should be looking for in draft when you're trying to pick Anubarak. You want to engage, you want to turn those enemy team numbers down, you want to fucking stun lock people with CC. Oh, that would have been really... Hey, they got him! Light Bomb on top of everything else. That is... Okay, well that's a mosh pit. It's not the greatest thing in the world. Got him on the... Oof. Oof, that's so good. Those point-blank burrow charges make me feel so good. I was not expecting the Light Bomb out of the Anduin, but that is an incredible synergy between Anubarak and Anduin, because Anubarak is unstoppable when he's burrow charging, and he can decide when to pop out. So if he has the Light Bomb while he's burrow charging, just like that, whoever you knock up is going to be stunned by your knockup, and then immediately stunned by the Light Bomb, and then they're just fucked. So if there is anything going on in our team comp, it is Anduin and Anubarak, and it's fantastic. I love that player for picking that talent. That is amazing. But we can go over the build now. I mean, this is, again, Anubarak isn't the easiest tank in the universe to play, so I'll give you kind of a lowdown on the talents. I'm sure at this point, if you know anything about the game, you know a little bit about Anubarak's abilities, which is Q's Impale is just a straight line skill shot that's going to knock people up and stun them for 1 second. Hardened Carapace is just a shield that we get spell armor for. Burrow Charge is going to be just a straight line dash in that's going to knock people up. Oh, we're going to stun the Malthael. Oh, I love the CC from my healer. I'm going to get the ETC also. Fantastic stuff, team. Fantastic stuff. But anyway, Burrow Charge is a dash forward. You're unstoppable when you do it. You pop out at the end. You knock people up. They're stunned again. I believe it is 2 point... No, that slows them for 2.5 seconds. But the knockup is very... It's got to be less than half a second. I'm assuming it's probably like 0.25 seconds or lower on the knockup. But it's good. It's good. It sets up a lot of stuff. Because Anubarak is very clearly going in, and your team can see everything he's going to do. Going to blast somebody, and just like that, they're dead. Because you can CC chain them, you can damage them, do all of that. Anubarak, at the moment, before May comes out, is the premier CC tank. Anubarak can, at level 20, stun lock someone for, I believe, 4 seconds. Not to mention the Cocoon, which wraps people up for 8 seconds, assuming it's not damaged. Which is fucking nuts. I think Uther's probably up there as well with the Divine Storm combo, but he has to put himself in a lot more danger to do that. Whereas Anubarak is just kind of like, I've picked you, you're not moving, and I can leave when I'm ready. So, but the talents for Anubarak at this moment, we picked up Nerubian armor here at level 1 to block the damage from mostly the Nazebo and the Malthael. Malthael, he's doing percentage damage with his trait, but all of his other damage is going to come from his Q, which is spell damage, which we are going to reduce by a huge amount. So we're actually getting 60 spell armor with that level 1 talent every time we hit our W. Same thing with the Nazebo. Toads don't mean as much against us, because we can just hit that block button. Greymane, oh, got him. Got him. Didn't even need the light bomb. Thank you for the follow-up anyway, Anduin. It was fantastic. I love you. Way to go. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Greymane's always going to be an issue for us because, you know, all of his damage is built into his auto attacks. His abilities do damage too, but, like, getting punched by Greymane hurts, so. For most of their team, we're going to be blocking a lot of ability damage with the Nerubian armor. At 4, like I said earlier, I did pick up Underking. This is going to increase the range and the damage of our Burrow Charge by double. Damage by double, range by 20%. So, could you imagine if it was double range? Just crazy. Sail across the entire map. But the increased damage on Burrow Charge is very good because it's the easiest ability for Anubarak to hit. And I guess they're just going to go for the turn, so we'll go help. Right, but so Underking gives you the ability to engage with a lot more damage. It is, let's see, 171. It's going to do 2 times that, so it's about 340 damage, which is pretty hot for an engage. Damn that fucking light bomb. Someone help the Nova! Oh, just sad day there. But Underking also builds into the rest of our builds. So, Subterranean Shield is just going to be what we want to help stay alive from going in with our Burrow Charge. Since our whole build is going to be based around a Burrow Charge anyway, I want to have the most survivability possible on it when I go forward. Anubarak does have a number of builds. The second one, this isn't even what I would consider his main build. I think his W is probably going to be his number 1 build with Shed Exoskeleton, Shitness Plating, Verticating Spines, and then whatever at 16. But this build I specifically took because Lucio's fucking difficult to hit, and I want to be able to hit him a lot more often. So increasing the range, increasing the radius, making Burrow Charge more useful as an engage, or in the middle of team fights, literally wherever, is how I wanted to approach this map specifically, because of the mobility of Lucio, because of the mobility of Malthael, and I guess to some extent Greymane and ETC also have mobility, but they're a lot easier to hit. Anyway, there is the Subterranean Shield. It also synergizes incredibly. Oh, big light bomb on Greymane, but we're just going to stop ETC from using his mosh pit. We're going to go try to kill him now. There it is. That's the epicenter taking effect, knocking him up from 20 fucking yards away. Awesome. I guess let's keep going. Okay, I guess we don't have to keep going anymore. But Subterranean Shield, the point I was making is that it synergizes incredibly well with Nerubian armor. So if you dash in with your E and you get the knock up, and then you're hitting your W immediately, your spell armor is going to apply to that huge fucking shield that you have that you've just engaged with. So, shields already are taking more damage. Shields are coded weirdly. So if you have a shield, it is going to block more damage than your health bar would. I don't know specifically what the details are, but 200 shields is more than 200 health, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. If I'm wrong, please tell me in the comments. I would be completely missing my arrow charge. Okay, well, this is another great example of why Cocoon is such a strong ult. Even though we were just chasing the ever-loving shit out of that Lucio, he got away, but we still get a huge pick on Malthael because he was trying to help. And it's all because the Cocoon locked him in place for as long as it took us to get there and be ready to kill him. It's awesome. Absolutely fucking incredible ult. Just have to be a little bit mindful of when you're using it, what you're using it for. But anyway, at 13, I did pick up Urticating Spines. This is going to deal 169 damage. It's going to do double damage to heroes. And it's just easy damage in the area around our shield. Shield's on a pretty short cooldown to begin with, so just giving them the old slap and tickle from our W key makes it an offensive ability on top of the defensive ability, which is really good. It's really good. Feels good, man. And then at 16, Epicenter. I've been talking about this all game, but it's just amazing. It increases the impact area of our burrow charge, which is super good, and lowers the cooldown for each hero hit by 1 second. That talent has been nerfed into the ground since it came out, but what can you do? It's still very good if you're building burrow charge. At 20, we did pick up Rewind because that's how you stun lock people. Like I mentioned earlier, you just hit your E, hit your Q, hit your Rewind, then hit your Q again, then hit your E, and then they're dead. Hopefully, because your team would have hit them and killed them. Anubarak is also very capable of damage, so you don't want to necessarily 1v1 people, but you can take a shitload of health off a squishy. Like, let me tell you what. There are the talents again, though. Nerubian Armor at 1, Underking at 4, Subterranean Shield at 7, Cocoon at 10, Urticating Spines at 13, 16 is Epicenter, and Rewind at level 20. Level 20 is always going to be Rewind, and then level 10 is 99% of the time going to be Cocoon. Apparently, Locust Swarm has a higher win rate, but it also has a very, 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 very small, teeny tiny pick rate. So, there you have it. There's also the Beetle build for Anubarak, which I think is the probably worst build. And then there is also the Shield build for Anubarak, in which you'll take W's for the first 3 talents. You'll take it for the 13 talent as well, and then there's not a W talent at 16, so you would still pick up what is it? It's Epicenter, and then there's the spell power reduction on your charge, and there's another one. There's another one that I cannot remember for the life of me right now, but I still think Epicenter is probably the best. I think it's always been the best. I think it's always going to be the best. But the W build for Anubarak is an entirely separate video because it's an entirely separate playstyle, and still very good, but much more difficult to play. So I hope this helped out with your understanding of Anubarak, and hopefully helps you play him a little bit better in the Storm League game mode, or wherever you play him. I mean, I think he works in all game modes. He's fun. Pick him up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Feel free to like, subscribe, YouTube your heart out, and I will be back tomorrow with some more fancy tank shit, because I think tanks are going to be a changing soon. Okay, bye.